You can see in the background still a lot of police presence there. As we said, one person in custody, but we have not confirmed whether or not they are still looking for other suspects. The campus is still on lockdown, so that could give you some inclination. This has been affecting a lot of students. Obviously, we have been hearing from them on social media. We've been keeping you updated on social media. We want to take you to some tweets from students there. One student says, "I'm still horrified by this. I don't know what to do. All I can do is think about how fast it all happened. Jesus, protect us." So you can just hear the fear in her voice. If you take a look here, this involves everything from Gordon Highway exit to the Deansbridge Road exit along the Bobby Jones Expressway.
This neighborhood knows how to do a snow day. I've got a hot chocolate here, and I'm telling you, it's just really tough being at work right now.
3 of those Bulldogs did make the cut. One of those, of course, Bubba Watson, who took home the green jacket 2 years ago. And you know what? If he keeps playing how he's been playing, he may just bring home another. They nicked a high-pressure gas line, and they started smelling gas. You can smell it very heavily in the air right now. Just recycle what you can during the week. Roll your bin out to the curb, and every time they pick it up, you'll get 25 points towards your perks. Along with weather problems, workers have also had to deal with problems with the utilities. These guys behind me had to stop what they were doing with the road work to clean out this drainage line.
It may not feel like Christmas out here. A lot of us are in short sleeves, but we are having a blast.
If there was a soundtrack from February's ice storm, this would definitely be on it. We all know that sound, limbs and trees falling.
The congressman here says he is feeling good, and his supporters here behind me, they say they are feeling good too.
I've combed through this report, and some of the findings will drop your jaw.
It really is a nightmare, and that little girl you saw in the video, she has pink eye right now. She has an ear infection, so as you can imagine, just being in a shelter with all those people out of your element when you're that little, it's not a walk in the park.
Neighbors say the explosions sounded like double-barreled shotguns going off. Pieces of plastic flew everywhere, and if you look up in this tree, a piece of the plastic bottle is still left. You can see about 2 or 3 feet underneath is washed out. If a car drove over this, it would easily collapse. This is some of the worst damage we've seen so far. This is not a dirt wall I'm standing in front of. This is actually the base of a giant tree that toppled over in a front yard on Vineland Road. Jarius Dantzler attempted to rape a 19-year-old girl in her Payne College dorm room in November of 2012. She left her room unlocked to go to the bathroom, came back, and he attacked her. She was able to scratch his face and fight him off. Dantzler pled guilty to that incident, along with 2 others last week.
This day will live with her for the rest of her life, thanks to you.
Crime scene photos show a stick left to prop open a back door. Investigators believe that's how Dantzler got into Graham Hall. But students say they never received any sort of alert about the attempted rape.
At no time did we feel that the student safety was in jeopardy here on campus.
Students say the emergency notification system in place on campus was never used. The Clery Act states schools are required to issue timely warnings about Clery Act crimes, which pose a serious or ongoing threat to students and employees. Sex offenses are considered one of the crimes that must be reported. Fast forward 4 months later to a frantic 911 call coming from the same dorm building.
911 is application of emergency.
Please help me. Someone tried to hurt my roommate.
Jarius Dantzler, who is not a student at Payne, once again snuck into the same dormitory, this time hiding in a bathroom, waiting to make his move.
Someone touched her.
Touched her? You mean sexually or what? What
Sexually? Yes.
Was she raped?
Were you raped? Yes. Are you free?
Dantzler raped the student in a bathroom stall.
You was going to accomplish what you was going to accomplish this time. So you hid in that bathroom, and she just happened to be the unlucky girl that came wandering her in that bathroom to take a shower.
Again, even after a rape on campus, students say they were not notified of any sort of threat.
Proper steps were taken to ensure the safety of the students.
The student who was raped filed a lawsuit against the school, citing a lack of security, and faulted Payne for not warning students after the first attack 4 months earlier.
Nothing was done after that to prevent this from happening.
After the rape, we spoke with one student too scared to go on camera, upset with the way the school handled things.
They haven't sent nothing to the email, nothing to the text message.
Even more concerning, case files reveal these 2 sexual assaults are not isolated incidents. After the rape, while Richmond County investigators were trying to nail down a suspect, the head of Payne College Public Safety told them they may want to investigate someone, and they gave Richmond County investigators a name. But it wasn't Dantzler. They said this person was, quote, being investigated by the college for several sexual assaults on campus. You won't find a lot of bluebirds on Bluebird Lane in Edgefield. Instead, it's become home to as many as 5 vultures.
Well, honey, they are unreal. They sitting on your house like they might pay rent.
They've been on my car there and doing number 2 and all that.
Their number 2 is ruining houses, cars, and Angela Fleming's new ramp.
But all this white stuff is what they done.
Along with all the white stuff they leave behind, they've also been racking up the car repair bills, pecking, scratching, and eating whatever they can find.
Oh, yes, indeedy. And my windshield wipers.
All these with their little pecks, they come all the way down. Just stretch.
Some neighbors have even bought car covers to keep the buzzards at bay.
They have scratched up our cars. I've had those repaired. And the friends, when they come over, they eat the rubber off of the windshields.
Along with causing a whole lot of property damage and a big mess, these buzzards are bold, and they're making themselves right at home.
I heard a knock at the door, and when I went to the door, it was a buzzard.
He was pecking at her front glass door. She shooed him away with a broom, but the unwelcomed guests always seem to come right back, no matter what they do.
Yeah, we've been shooting fireworks. We've been using the water hose also on them, but nothing seemed to help.
They're just hoping the birds will fly this coop and find someone else to bother. They say if all of that fails, now listen to this, the most effective way to get rid of buzzards is to hang a fake buzzard upside down from a tree nearby where all of them can see, and it's supposed to act as like a warning. They call it a bird effigy. So these ladies, that is next on their list. Track marks on his arm tell the story, a life of addiction leaving deep scars that sleeves can't hide.
Had lost my family, had lost the relationship with my wife. My kids had grown up in high school, graduating from high school, and because of the heroin, I missed all that. I missed all that.
Ronnie Bonner has been in and out of the Hale House in Augusta for rehab over the past 14 years. He makes this trip almost every day because he knows any day he could slip back into addiction.
The first time I came in treatment, I was the only person in here for heroin, and this was in 2000. But now, there are a great deal of young people coming in that have experimented with heroin.
Drug investigator Alan Rollins has seen a jump in heroin cases in the past 6 months.
A lot of these cases we've made are people that have served their time in prison, gotten out, gotten back in business, and been arrested almost immediately after getting back into the business.
It's a trend that worries Ronnie Bonner, who knows firsthand how hard it is to break an addiction to heroin.
I didn't believe it could happen to me, and it did. And that's the hardest thing to get across to younger people today.
Bonner played football at Laney High School, had a football scholarship to Fort Valley State University. He had a promising life ahead of him, but heroin changed that. As time went on, he craved more of that feeling, tempting fate, shooting up more.
A friend of mine that was in the military also found me in the latrine, and my feet were sticking out, and he looked over, and because I had been gone a while, we were in the same room, and I had a needle syringe in my arm.
A scary experience, but not scary enough to stop. He says he's overdosed 3 times since then.
Stealing from my wife, stealing from my mother. I was a grown man going in a pocketbook, stealing money, going to any extremes to get it.
He hasn't used in 4 years, but every day is a battle, a small victory in a lifelong road to recovery. The heroin on the streets now is more powerful, more deadly, and more addictive. And investigators say they're seeing even more cases.
We went for several years with heroin being an outskirts kind of drug. You'd see one case once in a while. In the last year, we've come up with probably 15, 20 cases in the past year.
So why heroin and why now? One theory is because state and federal governments have been cracking down on prescription drug abuse and doctors who prescribe addictive painkillers not for medical use, but to patients willing to pay to get that high.
We've had some people in the past that when Oxycontin was so hot and strong, it's because they couldn't get their hands on heroin, is what they told us.
Now with heroin circulating again in the CSRA, Ronnie worries others will make the worst mistake of their life and try heroin, thinking they can be stronger than the drug.
It happened exactly the way they say it happens, and I just didn't believe it when I heard it.